JD, one of the things you've written about in the book in comparing and contrasting and sharing the stories of these three fellas is the overlap of rock and roll, country music, and evangelical Christianity, and how those three are kind of woven together.
Yeah, I was talking real quickly. I was talking to George Klein, who was a close friend of Elvis, and I was talking to him about the famous picture that you've seen with the $1 Million Quartet: Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis Presley, Carl Perkins, Johnny Cash, and George was talking to Jerry about the fact that in the tapes of that you hear mainly Elvis and Jerry. And Jerry said, "That's no mistake. Those boys were Baptist boys, and only Elvis and I knew all the lyrics."
Right. You know, you think about that quartet that Sun Records had, and what a moment in time to have those four guys, and it just amazing.
Well, now, I met all of them except Elvis, but I did meet Elvis in pictures. If you don't believe it, I got a picture I can show you. Yeah, you want to break that picture out and show Michael?
You got a picture with you and Elvis?
I got a picture that I think you get a kick out of. In fact, I'll leave you a copy if you'd like it.
I would love it. While he's pulling that out,
we call it, instead of the $1 Million Quartet, it's the $2 Million Quintet.
There you go. There you go. It's well, you can hear their influence in your music. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to post this. Oh yeah.
I made them in pictures.
Very nice. You know, one of the things I enjoy watching, they'll show on these shows. Elvis, after a long concert, he would go in the back and they would stay up all night performing gospel music, and how much they enjoyed that. When you just sing for your own enjoyment, what kind of tunes do you?
Well, usually if I'm performing, I'm listening to something maybe I'm thinking about trying to record again. You know, one of my favorite songs that I heard Elton John do, "Sorry Seems to Be the Hardest Word," and I heard him do that in the concert, and I said, "Man, what a great country song that could be!" And so I made a run at it. And we made a pretty good demo on it. And I was getting ready to record it, and the gentleman that I had contacted to help me with the recording passed away before I could get it done. But I'm still hadn't given up on that song.
Beautiful
I think that's a great song.
Beautiful song.
It's such a great country music song, you know.
I agree. Well, you made "Stand By Me" into a country music song.
Well, my producer did. My producer picked that song for me to do and rearranged it. And it turned out to be quite an arrangement he put together on that. Jim Ed Norman is one that arranged it. He worked with Ann Murray for quite some time, too. And he was part of the Eagles group, you know. I think he did arrangement for the Eagles.
You've chosen Houston as your home, Pasadena as your home for most of these years. Why'd you never move?
I've lived here since the early 50s. I think I came here in like 51 to 52. And I've been here ever since. I like the town. I like the people. I've just enjoyed the southern style of living.
Was there pressure to move to Nashville?
Well, when Roomful of Roses hit, everybody asked me if I was coming to Nashville, and I think that's one reason why maybe the Country Music Association never really recognized me in the field of music, because of Gilley's and the way it was presented to them. I don't know if they'll ever induct me into the Hall of Fame, although they inducted me into the Texas Country Music Hall of Fame and the Louisiana Hall of Fame, the Colorado Hall of Fame. Did you see me on American Pickers?
I did, 2011 edition.
Can you believe I lived long enough to make the History Channel?
Well, you know, all that old Gilley's memorabilia, it's funny what a neat thing that whole thing.
I gotta tell you a quick story. When I got a call from a guy in St. Louis, and he said, "Gilley, you sold that beer sign a little cheap, didn't you?" I said, "Well, I got $600 for it." He said, "I'd have given $1,000." I said, "I can manufacture some more."
I got an email. Hey, Michael, from Ralph Robbins. You ever wonder what happened to the original Gilley sign? Well, it's in the parking lot of our favorite restaurant, Two Cities Grill and Cantina. There's a yellow line down the middle of the restaurant. It's half in Pasadena, half in Deer Park. And they have tucked away, they have that famous sign, and we all love to see it. And I don't know if that's true. Maybe.
Well, I don't know where it's at. I'll have to go back and take a look. Is it in Deer Park or Pasadena? Or?
Well, they say it's halfway in Deer Park and halfway in Spencer. It's tucked away behind a Chase Bank at the corner of Spencer Highway and Red Bluff.
Okay, there's a sign there that the old Gilley sign that stood out front. And Jim Atkins owned the property at that time, and he asked if he could have that sign out front. He come and got it and moved it and had it where it would light up. And I think maybe it got damaged in some weather, but I know that big sign out there with the arrow is still up there.
Of the people who wrote songs for you and wrote songs for your contemporaries, who is the songwriter you admire the most?
Well, my two favorite writers back when I was trying to get started in the music industry, of course, with Roomful of Roses hitting, was Bill Rice and Jerry Foster, and they wrote a lot of great songs for a lot of different people. They wrote "She's Pulling Me Back Again," "Here Comes the Hurt," and "Don't the Girls Get Pretty Close Down" was written by a guy out in California by the name of Baker Knight. And my producer found that song, and I listened to it, and I said, "Wow, man, what a great idea for a song!" And I didn't want to do it at first, but then he convinced me if I used that boogie beat to it that I could perform the song, and sure enough I did. I'm really surprised that some rock group has not recorded that song.
I'm surprised because it's such a great tune. It's got such a funny message, and a fun message.
And it's such a true story when you think about it. I refer to it as the national anthem of every honky-tonk in the world.
It is sadly a true story.
And you know, I got to say one other thing too. You'd be surprised how many women asked me to do that song, and I finally figured out that the guys started looking better than me close in time.
I think we figured out what causes all that, right? It's the alcohol. J.D. Davis, the book is called Unconquered. We can get it pretty much anywhere. And we put a link, by the way, on our website at michaelberry.iheart.com. You can get a copy of the book about the great Mickey Gilley and his cousins, Jimmy Swaggart and Jerry Lee Lewis. Very good stuff. Very
Let's
fun
just
stuff.
hope that they do a film before I pass to the other side of the world.
Oh,
I'd like to see that, you know, see if, I'm trying to make it as authentic as they possibly can, and that's the main thing, the reason why I wanted to do the interviews with J.D. Davis.
You know, I don't know how much we talked about this off air, and I don't know how much you want to talk about this. I'll ask you this for my last question. But the number one thing we got in emails was people who, as I said, feel like they really know you. You're part of our community, and they've grown up to your music and in your life, and they've lived your life with you, wanting to know about your health and how you're doing.
Well, I'll be buried in Pasadena when I pass. Right now, I'm 76 years old. The fall really got to me. I can't play the piano right now, but I hadn't given up. I'm doing reflexology on my hands. I'm doing spinal decompression on my back. I'm doing cold laser therapy on my left side because I damaged the left side more. I was at TIR here in Houston for about 6 months doing rehab. I can walk. The doctors at one time didn't think I'd ever walk, but I'm walking, and I'm getting along fairly well to be as old as I am.
How many of the doctors ask for your autograph? That's got to be a little awkward, right? Could you just focus on my shoulder and stop asking for my autograph?
You know, I tell the story. I tell the story in when I'm doing my live story. I said, folks, the last 20 years I've tried to wipe myself off of the face of the earth. I've had heart surgery. I've had brain surgery. My appendix broke. I was supposed to get on my airplane and fly off. I fell and hurt my back. I've had 2 airplane crashes. I walked away from all of that. I've changed my diet. I'm now eating 9 laps cat food.
You still look like $1 million. That's the amazing thing.
Well, I'm holding it together pretty good. I've gained the weight back that I shouldn't have gained. I went down from 186 pounds down to 148, and I couldn't hold my pants on me. But now I'm back too big, and I do the little thing in my show, and I tell the people, I said, look what this trainer did to my muscle here. I'm talking about my tummy.
Well, I'll tell you this, on behalf of a lot of fans in all across the country, here in Houston and across the country, we wish you the best, and it's been a fun ride for us as well.
Well, Michael, I thank you, and if you get a chance to come to Branson, I want to invite you, your family, and all your constituents out there that's listening to you. If they get a chance to come to Branson, we got nonstop flights right out of Hobby on AirTrans right into Branson. And if they get a chance to come to Branson, I think they'll have a great time, enjoy the trip. It's a great vacation place. And my theater's there. I'm doing 3 shows, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday nights during the summer months. I'll go back to Wednesday afternoons during the fall. So if they get a chance to come to Branson, come over to the restaurant. We'll sing karaoke together.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Mickey Gilley, thanks for being our guest.
Thanks.